Soul Game Saga, Part 10 of Infinity, the final 9 Soul Liberation Hierarchies explained. This will be the 4th and final part. Hopefully the 4th and final part. So, let's talk about it. The 9 Soul Liberation Hierarchies, what do they consist of? A full recap once again. The first 4, what they represent are the 4 fundamental forces of our natural standard, our natural 1 standard. Meaning the first 4 soul liberation hierarchies on this here 9 soul liberation hierarchies list. It consists of the 12 spiritual crop lines, which are peace, love, unity, and advancement, global soul liberation, global child main mission, global moral purification, global balance reestablishing. My conviction: God will have his world, God will have his people moving God's speed forever. Soul speed, 1 belief, and 1 foundation, a foundation of love, balanced love, just love. And then the third one, or the second one, which are the 12 soul directional words. The first one is to beat you the F up in spirit, and the second one is to beat the literal heck out of your souls. The second one is called the 12 soul directional words. What are they? Soul freedom, soul liberation, soul sovereignty, soul coexistence. Then you got that first one, soul balance. Then you have soul pride after soul balance. Then you have soul principle for the heart chakra after soul pride. And then you have soul ethics, the final one. And then after that one, the final 4, you have soul first, soul speed, soul theocracy, soul tribe. Those are your 12 soul directional words that once you gain awareness of them, acceptance of them, application of them, and resurrection of them, they're going to beat the literal heck out of your souls. What do I say? What do I mean by beat the literal hell out of your souls, or beat the literal heck out of your souls? All the gunk and junk and skunk that's piled up into thy mind, into thy heart space, taking you away from being my family member and my family member only. This is what I will stop, or this is what I will beat the heck out of you. I'm gonna beat that the heck out of you. And then the third hierarchy. The third hierarchy being the 12 divine tasks. What are they? The final 4 sagas. Super Yahusha 4-7. The Christ Game Saga. Cosmic Yahusha 6-9, the Soul Game Saga. Then you got Free Yahusha 84 or 8-4, the Home Liberation Saga. And then you have Established Yahusha Infinity, the Home Saga. You follow me? And then the final one for that first 4, you have the 12 Environmental Purification Forces, VKA, the 12 Standard Reestablishment Forces, which are the top 4. The 4-star character destination, Cosmic Celestial Heavenly Nirvana, Cosmic Celestial Heavenly Nirvana, BKA, the Cosmic Reawakening. Then you have the Celestial Reincarnation. Then you have the Heavenly Resurrection, and you have the Nirvanic Reestablishment. And then the next 4, the 4-bladed sword tongue, or the 4-bladed common tongue, or the 4-bladed language. You have root tongue, destruction tongue, king tongue, and common tongue, which those 3 sword languages will be in 1. You follow what I'm saying? In order to help clear out or purify our environment in which we stand on, and or to help us set the standard in which we are naturally, which is calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. You follow what I'm saying? That's the standard we are naturally. Calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. And that there, your first 4. That make up your first 4. And then the 5th one, the 5th hierarchy, what is it going to be called? The 5th hierarchy is going to be called the 16 evil supremacy dimensions. And the 16 evil supremacy dimensions make up the entire personality of the devil itself. What are the 16 evil supremacy dimensions? Broken apart into 4 groups of 4. What are they? They are war, disrespect, imbalance, murder. Next 4, war, hatred, division, stagnance. 3rd, the opposite of calmness, violence. The opposite of serenity, disturbance. The opposite of love, hatred. The opposite of righteousness, injustice. And then the final one, unto the environment, that evil, sadistic, disgusting, malicious standard, what it manifests unto the environment, all things evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial, concomitantly and or separately. You follow what I'm saying? Next. And that there represents the devil's personality itself as a whole. The 16 evil supremacy dimensions, which is the 5th hierarchy on this list, represents the entirety of the devil's personality as a whole. That there is the devil itself. Next, the sword of the devil, what I would like to call the 7 enemy regulation forces, the 7 enemy regulation forces, which are disrespect, frustrate, humiliate, agitate, aggravate, provoke, classify, exploit or extort. Provoke, classify, exploit or extort. Exploiting the person and extorting the grounds in which the person stands on. Now, I got more details for that one. They're going to be lined up with the chakras, counting from the current of liberation on down. So meaning from the soul star chakra to the crown chakra to the third eye chakra, unto the throat chakra, unto the heart chakra, and then unto the solar plexus chakra, and then unto the sacral chakra, unto the root. And also, and it's finally the Earth Star chakra. 9 of them in total. But as always, they're always going to be within that space in which they are in, the Akasha. The Akasha's ethereal space is the one, and this is the space in which you will always be in, no matter what. You dig what I'm saying? Check it though, right? Next. So how do the 7 enemy regulation forces line up with the 9 chakra system then? Or the 9 to 10 chakra system? How does that happen? Let's talk about it. So in other words, through the actions and mouths of the enemy by order of the devil, through the actions, through the desires of the devil, the so-called people who serve them, meaning every single white person alive, and the melanated sellouts who do what the white people want them to do. How does it work? Let's talk about that. Disrespect, targeting our soul star chakra. Then you got frustration, or to frustrate, targeting our crowns. The definition of these words are the reasons why I'm using these words to label and describe what they are doing in their initial approach towards us. You follow what I'm saying? Next. Disrespect, frustrate, humiliate. Humiliation, targeting our third eye chakra. Humiliation. Disrespect, frustrate, humiliate. Agitate, aggravate. Agitation and aggravation, yes. Agitation from the throat chakras. Because of the disrespect, what it'll appear to us on the surface is agitation, annoyance. Agitation, aggravation. Aggravation of the heart chakra. Remember, these people are a walking heart attack at all times. They are nothing but pure evil for us all to deal with. Nothing else. Disrespect, frustrate. Humiliate, agitate, aggravate. Aggravation of the heart chakra through the so-called white people and the melanated sellout, or the black sellouts. Through the white people and the so-called black people, they apply aggravation unto our hearts. Provoking, targeting the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra Sanskrit name is the Manipura. Manipura. And that word sounds very similar to manipulate, because all day long the oppressive body is trying to manipulate us into doing something in which we don't want to do. That's what it means to provoke. That's what it means to provoke. The word provoke is synonymous for the word elicit, meaning something being drawn out of you for a purpose or a cause, meaning it's being manipulated, put in you, problem being put in you, problem being drawn out, fake solution being applied to the problem put in you and drawn out of you. You follow what I'm saying? Next. Provoke. Always manipulating our manipuras. Our manipura chakra is the solar plexus chakra. On the ethereal sense, our solar plexus chakra is also what could be labeled and described as our conscious minds. Our conscious minds. We have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and an unconscious mind. All 3 of these make up the entirety of our individual soul. And the spirit thereof is the 5 senses of the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. Meaning, the spirit is the ears or the hearing. The spirit is the physical body's touch. You follow what I'm saying? Jesus. The spirit, also the physical body's touch. The first sense is hearing. The second sense is touch, physical, your vessel. Your vessel is spirit. Spirit is your vessel. So am I saying your vessel is air? It's all of the elements in one. This entire reality is all of 5 of those major elements fused in one. All of them. Your next sense, third, is sight. Third is sight, you see. And then fourth, taste. And then the final sense you get from Obatala, your smell. Obatala breathes life into his creations. And our soul spirit, meaning our conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind, and the 5 senses in which decorate them or which dress themselves on top of these here 3 planes of existence. They are under constant attack by these so-called people, this oppressive body here that I keep speaking of. Lined up, they can be labeled and described as like I said, this so-called white people in the melanated sellouts of the world, or black sellouts of the world. So the non-melanated people and the melanated sellouts. Essentially non-melanated and melanated sellouts. That's what the oppressive body is in its entirety. Every single non-melanated individual on this planet and the actual original melanated sellouts. People who are serving the devil because the white people told them to do so. Moving forward. No such thing as white people or black people. Next, hierarchy on the list. And I believe I have them all completed now. Next one is called the 16 soul supremacy dimensions. Did I finish the last 2 details? No, I didn't. Provoke, targeting the solar plexus chakra. Classify, targeting the root of the sacral chakra. Exploitation, targeting the root chakra there. There you go. Exploitation, targeting the root chakra. Classify, targeting the sacral, and then the earth star chakra. Extortion, targeting that one. Extortion, targeting the earth star chakra. Next hierarchy. That's the details of the 7 enemy regulation forces. Next hierarchy. The 16 soul supremacy dimensions, broken down into 4 groups of 4. 4 groups of 4. What are the first 4? Peace, respect, balance, and progression. Next, peace, love, unity, and advancement. Third, calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. Fourth, what's good, beautiful, normal, and natural, being manifested unto our environment. The soul supremacy dimensions are simply the total, absolute opposite of the evil supremacy dimensions. And why is that so? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the soul versus evil. The soul versus evil. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You follow what I'm saying? And now this list, the next one. The 8th list on the list out of 9. I call it the 9 major measurement words. I believe I got 9 major measurement words now. I believe I do. I'm going to try it out and see right quick. So the first one, targeting the soul star chakra, is quantum. It's a measurement word, measuring the activity of source. And then the next one, targeting the crown chakra. In the previous video, I had it something else, or did I not yet? I don't think I came up with one for it yet, but I got one now for it. It's called commonness. Commonness. How did I find out about the word commonness? By looking up synonyms for the word measure. Synonyms for the word measure. Synonyms, meaning words that have a similar meaning. How many more measurement words can you find? Because remember, these are all just simply measurement words. I looked up synonyms for the word measure. In commonness, it led me to one called commonness. And I'll use commonness to target the crown chakra. And then for the third eye chakra, I'm going to keep it at morals. Morals is the measurement word for the crown chakra. And then for the throat chakra, last video I had it as frequency. I'm going to change that up. Now it's description. Description is the measurement word. Is that a proper measurement word to use here for the throat chakra, the word description? Because you have to contemplate in your mind what you're labeling and describing. So yeah, that's measurement. Measurement is being involved. Measurement is being involved when you're describing something. So yeah, I would say description is for the throat chakra. Now for the heart chakra, what I had was at first astral. But I believe I'm going to change it to frequency. But I might change it back to astral and put frequency somewhere else. But for the heart chakra, for this parable right here, to move on to the next one that I'm getting ready to talk about, because I'm only getting ready to tell you about the purpose of my, the 9th soul liberation hierarchy. I'm only going to tell you about the purpose of it. I'm not going to give it to you in detail into the video after this one. So, the 8th one though, right? So now I'm thinking instead of putting astral on the heart chakra, I'll put frequency there on the heart chakra. You follow what I'm saying? And frequency instead of astral. And then for the solar plexus chakra, I'm thinking of going astral right there as the measurement word. Why astral for the solar plexus chakra? Simple, because in the astral realm, you are using your physical solar plexus chakra conscience to view in it. You follow what I'm saying? When you are traveling in the astral realm, you are using your physical solar plexus conscious mind to view in the astral. So keep your gut clean and allow Oshun to help you. That's why I ensured that she was going to be there as the Orisha to represent that chakra. She can help you in your mind space. I guarantee it. And it's your gut space too. Oshun can cook. Wait, according to the story, let me see. Who was the cooker? I believe it was Oba who was the cooker. There's some very terrible stories with those wives there. Really is. But moving forward. So in this timeline, it'll be a lot different. Because I'm a different type of Shango. Or Zeus. Or Rita. Moving forward. That's a thunder god in Hinduism. Lightning god in Hinduism. It's like every single story has some kind of lightning god as well. There's a lightning god of Greece, that's Zeus, right? Then there's a lightning god of Yoruba, that's Shango, right? Then there's the lightning god of India, or Hinduism, and I believe the name, it started with an R, Rita, I believe, Risha, I believe that's what it was called. I'm gonna have to look into it again and see which diva that was of lightning and thundering in Hinduism. There's a lightning and thundering god in Hinduism as well. Moving forward, so now the measurement word for the solar plexus chakra, I believe I have it for astral, and then for the sacral chakra, I have ether. And for the root chakra, I'm changing it up again, because at first I had reality as one of the 5th words, but I think instead of reality, I'm going to use dimensions, because dimensions are being used in reality to measure reality, if that makes sense to you. We use dimensions in reality to measure reality. What is the word dimension defined as? A measurable extent of some kind, such as length, breadth of depth, or height. Just by knowing the definition of the word dimension alone gives you a quick step into the ethereal realm, because as soon as you step into the 4-dimensional thinking mind, you step into the style of thinking influenced by the Akasha Mother. And then once you begin to step into the 4-star character's destination, it'll send you to a cosmic celestial heavenly nirvana at the end. You won't be able to escape it. Like as soon as you step into the 4-dimensional thinking mind and beyond, and truly honestly start taking a look at it, you're going home. Plain and simple. It's gonna drive you home very fast. You'll see what I mean. So, I'm thinking of using dimensions instead of reality for the root chakra, because technically reality and dimensions you can use those to measure them in the same regard, if that makes sense. For reality defines as the world, or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to a notional idea of them. Why does it say that as a definition? Because let's never forget that word came from the oppressive body, as did the word dimension and the word morals. They all came from them. These are words they have out here. Now, of course, let's never forget, everything that they have is what they took from us, perverted, and fed it back. Even their laws, even their systems, even their country names, even their land, all of their policies and things of that nature, it's just what they stole from us, destroyed it, perverted it, and fed it all back. Did you know they are responsible for all of the volcanoes that happened within the early centuries of the year 24 or 21 that we are in currently? All of those volcanoes, the so-called oppressive children of Yaqub are responsible for. It's been way longer than 400 years. If you think that all we had to do was deal with them in the 17th century slavery, if that's what you all think that was it, no. Their terror of nature extends 6,000 years plus. The white folk terror of nature extends 6,000 years plus. Why don't we know about it? Because they're so extremely, overwhelmingly unaccountable. Every step of the way, they are wiping their history away and saying they didn't do it. You did it. You follow what I'm saying? So, yeah, they all like little foul females, incorrect females, harlots. All the white people are a body of harlots in almost in a way. You follow me? But why though? Why? Simple, because of the source of all immoral authority, the devil using them as a sword, the 7 enemy regulation forces to bore into us as the 4 fundamental forces of our natural standard in which we are, to rearrange it to be the opposite of what it is. And they've been doing this for thousands of years. And how do we beat it? These 2 hierarchies that I just mentioned: gain awareness of the 16 soul supremacy dimensions, acceptance of the 16 soul supremacy dimensions, application of the 16 soul supremacy dimensions, and then the establishment of the 16 soul supremacy dimensions, if you wish to do so. It's just an idea of how good energy is our natural standard. It's just an idea in which labels and describes how good energy is our natural standard. Take these words before I go on. Oh yeah, and as far as the Earth Star Chakra's measurement word, I'm thinking of using achievements. I'm thinking of using achievements for the Earth Star Chakra, because here's the thing. This is where your standards go. On the environment are where your standards go. And what is a standard? A level of quality or attainment. So a level of attainment of some kind. So a level of achievement of some kind. When you look up the synonyms for the word measure, you'll find that achievements are one of the synonyms for the word measure. So I'm going to use achievements to target the Earth Star Chakra as far as the 9 major measurement words. So what does the, before I say what I was about to say about those 3 things, what does the 16 soul supremacy dimensions represent? The 16 soul supremacy dimensions represent us, we, BKA, we being reminded of our natural standard. That quick 16 soul supremacy dimensional combo will override the devil's 16 evil supremacy dimensions and the 7 enemy regulation forces in which the devil is using to bore into us the natural standard. We will now, that's just a reawakening and a reincarnation. Those 2 alone right there. That's like a reawakening. The soul tribe hierarchy, meaning the 16 soul supremacy dimensions. Then you got the reincarnation, seeing it 9 different ways. That's the acceptance. The 9 major measurement words, or it's the king of all kings himself, kicking the sword, or kicking the devil off. So we can then grab the sword, pull it out, sheathe it, pick the body up, fuse with it. And now here we are coming to part 9. Get ready for the next battle. Snoop Dogg voice. Right? When he was featured for Tekken Tag 2. Now the 9th one. Now we get to the 9th hierarchy. The 47 DTM Soul King Military Parable. Or the 47 DTM Soul King Military Entrenchment. That's going to be the 9th hierarchy there. The 9th Soul Liberation Hierarchy. And as soon as I gain some memory of this one, master it and things of that nature, I myself personally am going to just jump to the Free Yahusha game with or without you. To the Home Liberation Saga. I'm just going to go there with or without you. Because the faster I finish this game, me myself personally, the faster it takes out at least 60% of the oppressive body's overall power. You all say that they're losing their power? No, they still have 90% of their power left. That's too much. Because the more power they have, the more power you don't. And that's imbalance. And that's wrong. Because here's the thing. Everybody should have the equal amount of power all the way around. But the oppressive body said, no. Only we have power, you have nothing. Why? So we can laugh at you, struggle as you don't have none. Rob you of all of your necessities. Rob you of all of your ideologies. Rob you of all of your happiness. And rob you of all of your peace. just so we can have the peace and you can't have the peace. And we keep your peace away from you. Peacekeeping force, remember? The 47 DTM, Soul King Military Entrenchment. What does it consist of? It consists of essentially 47 missions. And this here 47 missions, the reawakening part is the 16 soul supremacy dimensions hierarchy. The reincarnation part is the acceptance of them. So that means soul supremacy. Soul supremacy kicks the devil off. Acceptance fuses with the soul body. After fusing the soul, so the acceptance part is, or the measurements will be the story of how the sword is sheathed and the body is fused with. The sword is sheathed, meaning white people go completely powerless globally, and then the body is fused with. You follow what I'm saying? Those two actions right there in one will represent what the 8th hierarchy is. And the 9th hierarchy, what I was getting ready to say before I had to add those two details in to make it make more sense, is the final fight, the resurrection part. Once you resurrect, you coming to part 9. Just like I said in the previous, when I previously did this here 9 spiritual war ending parable. When I did this here spiritual war ending parable last time, the 9 steps towards ending the spiritual war. Once we got to the 9th part, we're fully resurrected and we're able to tap into our infinite dimensional omnipresent thinking mind. You follow what I'm saying? So, 47 DTM is 47 missions. 47 missions that once the first 8 hierarchies are successfully standardized, so to speak, and established, we can then begin the 47 DTM properly. Meaning the destruction of racism, the destruction of feminism, the destruction of the foul orientation belief, the destruction of the nerd geek culture, the destruction of the gang belief systems pillars, the destruction of the tribunal belief system pillars, and the destruction of the religious belief system pillars. You follow what I'm saying? And once these pillars are all destroyed, these buildings are all destroyed within this here city, what ultimately happens is during their collapse, what was giving them the powers to remain standing will be revealed unto the world as the 7 deadly sins themselves. You follow what I'm saying? And then the army parable will swoop in and force all of those attributes, those sins, back to what they are at normal, fake influences, not a part of you. You ain't evil. Those sins are. You are not bad. Those sins are, especially if they get a chance to drive you into being what they are. Stop letting sin drive you to be what it is. Stop letting sin drive you to be what it is. You are just love. You are just love. You are just love. Sins are just hate and evil. Sins are unjust, hate and evil. Injustice, hate and evil. That's what sins are. What the devil literally is, personality-wise, is what the sins of the devil are. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward now. So, and then the third one, that was the spiritual army parable. And what it's going to do when I apply it properly, it's going to swoop in into the spirit and flush all of the things giving those buildings, when they have form, power to stand out. You follow me? If that makes sense to you the way I just said it. And then the spiritual Marine Corps parable. Once those foul negative principality sins are flushed out of our soul spirit space and or our psyche space into the physical where we can properly see them, the soul Marine Corps, hoorah. This is where we will come to the action of subjugating these here ideologies and subjugating these here forces. Missions, yo. Your missions. What are the foul principality sins? Wrath, greed, gluttony, lust, pride, envy, and sloth. There's also 2 outside, fear and ignorance. And then, when we get to the army parable is going to be, within a specific order, reversing all of the 9 of those foul principalities and or 7 major foul principalities back to normal on both sides. This is what the spiritual army is going to do. So in other words, the spiritual army, once applied into our psyche space, properly entrenched, what it's going to do, the ideas of them, because my ideas are like armed soldiers. All of my ideas are like armed soldiers. All of my ideas are like armed soldiers. They're the armed forces. My ideas are the moving forward. So the Akasha chakra is going to be the first to target, though. And the Akasha chakra harbors the sin of fear, in which the spiritual army will reverse fear into soul courageousness and fear back to its normal state. And what is fear's normal state? Its literal definition. Fear defines as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something outside of you is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Fear defines as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something outside of you is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. That's what fear literally defines as. Now, if you turn fear back to normal, what would fear be? What can be labeled and described as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief? But the belief has to be caused first before it can settle in to make you feel like you some angel of fear, when in reality you're an angel of just love. Who am I speaking about? Our great brother Kevin Gates, who feels like he's some kind of angel of fear. Bakana, Japanese for impossible. Moving forward. Then you got the spiritual army targeting the other ones. Ignorance. We're going to be reversing ignorance back to its normal state, and what it was taking over or trying to conquer or control back to its normal state. And what is ignorance at its normal state? Its definition: the lack of knowledge, lack of intellect, lack of common sense. The ignorance belief system pillar is going to be targeting the Earth Star chakra on this here scenario, to be reversed back to what it is normally, by definition, just a lack of knowledge. And as soon as you gain knowledge, you gain soul awareness and or soul truth. And once you gain soul awareness or soul truth, you flush the ignorance out of the spirit. Just like that. And never will it have a chance to get in again, unless the enemy destroys the world again like it did in the first 5-6 centuries. And, all of the children that were left that survived their onslaught of however they got their hands on the high-tech weapons, they were even able to send meteorites to our planet. You want to believe that? You don't want to buy that? You don't have to. How did the continents get split? They told you it happened over hundreds of thousands of years of water splishing into it. Water is splishing into it right now. Why didn't they split it up? Oh, because it happens over a span of 100,000 years, right? You just believe whatever they tell you, because they make up everything to tell you they make up anything. But in reality, they are the ones causing all of the damage and destruction of the world, and just acting like they are not. Reversing ignorance back to soul awareness, soul truth, gives you one great step to see how they're actually doing it, so you can deal with them accordingly and stop them from doing it. You follow what I'm saying? And then the next in order is greed. Reverse greed to its definition: selfish desires for things. Why are you so selfish, stingy, and individualized, hyper-individualistic mindset? Why is that? I know why now, because you get it from your devil mama. Moving forward. And then you reverse greed to soul satisfaction, soul contentment. Many words you can use. Being all right with what you have versus covetousness. Isn't that what your Lord God told you not to be of things covetous? But isn't your Lord God covetous of everything there is? Why do you think the white people are? It is their God, remember, that they told us to worship. Jealous God. Why do you think they're jealous of everything? They don't even know how to be themselves. Who are they to be? Moving forward here. And then the next one on the list for after the Akasha, then you have the Earth Star, then you have the root chakras. Now the sacral chakra, lust. Reverse lust to its definition and what lust was trying to conquer back to light. Remove lust, replace it with its definition, or reverse lust back to its normal state. And once it's reversed back to its normal state, you will see what was actually there, soul composure. Next, you have the solar plexus chakra. Gluttony targets this one. Reverse gluttony back to its normal state, which is essentially the definition of greed, just for food, or any type of overeating, or unable to control or have discipline in your activities of what you are doing. Gluttony is a good way to break your discipline. Being gluttonous is one of the key major ways to break your disciplinary hold over your mind, heart's character standing. It's a great way. Well, nothing that evil does is great at all. It's just to recognize how it's working. How are you losing soul discipline? Someone makes you gluttonous. Someone makes you a gluttonous. And then the next one, after the solar plexus chakra, you have the heart chakra. Vanity is there. Reverse vanity to soul pride. And then after the heart chakra, you got the throat chakra, wrath. Reverse wrath to soul tranquility. After the throat chakra, you have the third eye chakra, sloth. Reverse sloth to soul ambition. Crown chakra, jealousy. Reverse jealousy to soul satisfaction or soul contentment. Be okay with what you have. You know what the word jealous defines as? Or jealousy, start there. The quality or state of being jealous. And the word jealous defines as having or showing a feeling of envy of someone and their achievements and advantages. What does the word envy define as? Envy defines as discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. That's what envy literally defines as. So whatever you have, period, whoever is envious, harbors jealousy, or is jealous or harbors jealousy for you, will have a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by you, even for things you can't even necessarily control about your magnificent, marvelous, spectacular self. Moving forward. And then, after reversing jealousy to soul satisfaction, we move on to the soul star chakra. All of the principalities have been reversed after that one, though. And here, guess what we're going to do? We're going to apply one of the hierarchies from the earlier into this spot right here. And you want to know which one it is? The 16 soul supremacy dimensions. We're going to apply it again, even in the spiritual army. You see how they all work together, how they all culminate into one magnificent soul king, us, we. Moving forward. So, then you got the spiritual Marine Corps after the spiritual army. And what are the spiritual Marine Corps going to do? The resurrection fight. Get ready for the next battle, the final fight. The spiritual Marine Corps parable is going to be what fights what is now in the open to be fought. You follow me? And we're going to be playing all of the games in order to, or all of the things, we're going to be applying them into reality to shut the evil, the true evil down of the world. You follow me? And what is the true evil of the world right now? Currently, the true evil of the world is the oppressive body and the foul principalities in which they will be having out here on the surface for us to subjugate when they have them out here on the surface for us to subjugate. That'll be the evil of the world we're fighting then. And the spiritual Marine Corps that I'm going to explain in the next video, the details of them. Like, for example, how we are soul privates. I, meaning soul private, or I is the soul private of the spiritual Marine Corps. And then how NSEB, for somatic divine task on I, NSEB, gives you the soul rank. It's just a game, it's a parable. Gives you the soul rank of private first class in the Marine Corps, the spiritual Marine Corps. You follow what I'm saying? Then next, the subjugation of the foul principalities. That's what that one's all about. Subjugation of the foul principalities. And then the final one, the leadership, where I reside, our soul's first lieutenant. The leadership will be applied finally as the Soul King's establishment into the physical world in which we are. So in other words, I got it lined up perfectly now. The 16 soul supremacy dimensions will be the kicking of the devil off of the soul tribe with the sword that has this boring the sword into the body. No, the devil is not going to hold on to the sword when I kick it. It's going to lose the grip of the sword and get kicked 47 centillion yards away when the 16 soul supremacy dimensions are applied. And then the 8th hierarchy, snatching the sword out by using the 9 measurement words, right? And then sheathing the sword, all within that one category. Snatching the sword out, sheathing it immediately. I don't need to know too much about it at all. Snatch the sword out, sheath it immediately. Pick the melanated people up, sellouts and everything. Reincarnate with them, meaning the King of all kings does. And then the devil, the true problem, actually is going to come back. But hey, here we are in the 9th step, getting ready for the next battle. So as soon as it comes back, get ready to fight it and subjugate it. With this here Soul King military entrenchment, the 9th hierarchy. And that completes the entire saga there. Or the entire Soul Game Saga Part 10 of Infinity. The final 9 sagas, final 9 soul liberation hierarchies explained. Shalom, shalom, shalom. 41 minutes in. I could say less now. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family. The ground is set.